In lesson 48, we're going to learn about radical equations. And the math here really is pretty darn easy. And so this is a radical equation. You've got a radical. And so you got square root of x minus 4 minus 2 equals x in example 48.1. And so we got to solve for x. If we have this situation, what we want to do is begin by isolating what is in the square root. We want to isolate this. So that would mean add the 2 and get it to the other side. So 6 plus 2 would be 8, and that equals square root of x minus 4. So now, once we get the square root by itself and everything in it isolated, what we can do is, the opposite of square root is squared. So we square it. Do it to one side, we have to do it to the other. So it crosses out here, we're left with x minus 4 equals 8 squared, 64. Add the 4, and that's as easy as it is. X equals 68. That would be your answer. Now it does want you to check on these equations that your answer is correct. So if I plug in 68, and it doesn't take any time at all. If I plug in 68, I'd have square root of 68 minus 4 minus 2 equals 6. Square root of 68 minus 4, well, that's 64. Square root of 64 is 8. 8 minus 2 equals 6, so therefore it does work. It does want you to check these, but it doesn't take any time at all, especially with the problem being very easy. So let's do it again. For example 48.3 on this one, isolate the square root. So we add 3. 8 equals square root of x minus 3. Square both sides. 64 equals x minus 3. Add the 3. X equals 67. That's it. That probably took 15 seconds. And you might even be able to go faster than that. X equals 67. Let's look at one more. It's still same concept. Just adds a few numbers. Step 1, like we said, isolate the radical. So we got to add 3. So now over here, when we add 3, you don't get 3x. That'd be multiplying. You actually get x plus 3 equals the square root of all this. So you can see this one's going to be a little more work, because when we square this side, in order to square this, we have to put it in parentheses, like so. So we got x plus 3 squared equals just x squared plus 2x plus 13. Now remember, when we have x plus 3 squared, we don't distribute, we have x plus 3 times x plus 3. And we FOIL. So we do first x squared. Outside, x times 3, that's 3x. Inside, 3 times x, 3x. Last, 3 times 3, 9. And so there is where we're at. Go ahead and simplify. 3x plus 3x is 6x. And this all equals x squared plus 2x plus 13, what we had before. Just kind of move this down. So now let's see if there's anything we can cancel. Now we see the x squared. Notice if I subtract this from both sides, it crosses out. So x squared would be no more. And now we can just solve for x. Subtract 2x to get 4x. 4x plus 9 equals 13. Subtract 9. 4 equals 4x. So therefore, when you divide by 4, x equals 1. Did all of that for x to equal 1. It's always fun. And if you plugged it in, you would find that that works. So that is all there is to lesson 48 in solving for radical equations.